Welcome to another episode of Time, Talent, Treasure Radio from Tejas Financial Group. Tejas Financial is a company that specializes in helping retirees and pre-retirees build purposeful retirement plans. Custom plans that not only help clients steward their treasure, but their time and talent as well. They believe that if you're taken care of financially, you go even further to make the family, community, and kingdom impact you truly desire to make, which is the ultimate purpose of wealth. If you'd like to set up a no-cost, no-obligation meeting with one of their financial advisors, give them a call at 222-4236. You can request a meeting at tejasfinancial.com or simply stop by their office on 19th Avenue Southwest in Wilmer. Well, thank you so much for joining us once again here on Time, Talent, Treasure Radio. Jared Sebest here joining you. We spent the last several weeks talking about estate planning and more specifically wealth transfer plans with Ben Tejas. This week on the show, we've got Tim Mattern joining us, and we're going to continue this conversation on estate planning. Tim, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jared.
So let's take a couple of minutes here and just deep dive into this whole idea of estate planning. First things first, what are some key components of an estate plan?
Yeah, obviously there's many vehicles out there, and we would allow the attorney to make those decisions, but you can get anything from a will, a trust if necessary, which is what we are seeing more and more clients utilize, just because you can have a lot more information. You can be more detailed as far as what you want to see done with different assets in your estate. The other piece is power of attorney, which comes in critical towards, if you become unable to make decisions financially, we can have a guardian or someone involved that can help make decisions, make sure bills are still being paid, those types of things. You also might have like a health care directive as well, yeah, which is actually very critical, and I think people underestimate. You get to make the decision of how you want to see that pan out, and I think a lot of times just like, oh, my kids or my family will make the right decision for you. And I don't think you necessarily want that all the time, Jared.
Well, I think once you get to the point where you need it, it's a bad time to try to go and get it. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like, and I don't feel like it's from a selfish standpoint necessarily. It's almost like it's not that important. And the truth is it really is, because it puts your family in a very tough situation where they have to make decisions for you. And likely they know that you said this and said that, but it's a legal document that also helps them so that, lawsuits and things like that going forward, they can help avoid some of that for you and potentially your estate as well.
Well, again, we don't ever want like tragedy to strike or a health scare to come out of nowhere. But again, if you are dealing with a health scare and now all of a sudden you're trying to push paperwork through, which sometimes doesn't happen overnight. And so not only may you be dealing with a health issue to some extent, now you're trying to like get documents signed and directives approved. And that's just not the game you want to play.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing there is it takes time. And so in order to alleviate some of this, take the time now to like spend time with an attorney, sit down, work through some of these questions, get some answers, and get some legal documents on paper before it's too late. Because what ends up happening is the amount of time it takes to clean up if those pieces aren't in place on your heirs is, it's 2, 3, 4 times as long. And it's just, again, you're allowing decisions to be made that could have already been decided by you and how you want to see your estate going, instead of either the family or potentially the state or courts making those decisions.
You mentioned a will. I think in my mind, when you say estate plan, I just think of like a will, but that's just really one piece of the puzzle. Is an estate plan just really a conglomeration of documents and plans to be executed? Or what does it actually kind of look like?
No, it is many documents, but each of them serve a different purpose, obviously. And a will is the most fundamental, but I think a lot of people try to avoid probate, which a will doesn't always do. So that's why, again, I'm going to leave this up to the attorney to say, what is needed for you. And again, the trust seems to be like it's the way to go. Just with the amount of information you can put in there, you can be very critical. You can be very decisive as far as who gets what.
You mentioned an attorney. There's a lot of players in the game, so to speak. Should people start with somebody like us, an attorney, a CPA? Where should they begin?
First off, get started. But yes, you can come to us. And I think that's a piece or value that we add to our clients is being the quarterback, so to speak, with a few other professionals. I think people know we work alongside their CPAs and their accountants quite a bit to help them from tax standpoint. The other piece of it that we really try to help quarterback is the relationship with an attorney and getting them involved with either the right attorney and actually start making these decisions.
Yeah.
The hardest thing for me is to talk about, hey, let's get your estate plan, let's get your power of attorney. And 3 years, we're still having the conversation because I've seen it. And I've now recently been much more adamant on it because I know it's in their best interest. I know they want to do it. And I just feel like it's a fear of time commitment.
Yeah.
And I don't think it needs to be that way.
And I think it's more approachable to talk to somebody like you who can then talk to an attorney, because sometimes going to an attorney and trying to come up with the answers to their questions might be more difficult, and that's something we can help with as well.
Yeah, for sure. I sit in some of the meetings. I ask the client right away, do you want me in there or not? Some have said, no, we got this. Some have said, yes, we'd love to have another set of ears in here. And just so you know what's going on, I'm happy to do both. We've had attorneys come to our office, which works out fantastic. We meet here, have the conversation. It's very open-ended. There's no like, okay, we need to get this, and this. The attorney basically drives the ship. You're just helping to answer some of those questions. So it's nice to see documents get signed, which means you've actually done the work. Is there some time prep in there? Yes. But again, it's way, way, way shorter than what it would be for your heirs down the road.
Well, that sounds good, Tim. Well, do you need an estate plan? Maybe now is the time for you to get this conversation going. To do that, it's very simple. You can give Tejas Financial Group a call at 222-4236. You can request a meeting online at tejasfinancial.com. And like I say, every single week, you can always stop by their office located on 19th Avenue Southwest in Wilmer. Just a quick reminder, we've got a brand new episode of Retiree Purpose coming up later this week on Friday at 4:30. Ben Tejas and I talk more about this idea of identity and really reframing how you think about your retirement and the purpose of this season in your life. This is coming up later this week again, right here on KWLM on Friday at 4:30. I'm Jared Sebesta, joining you in this episode of Time, Talent, Treasure Radio. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. All right, Ben, thank you so much. Well, if you want to take Ben up on that offer and begin this planning of a wealth transfer plan, now is the time to give Tejas Financial a call. You can give them a call at 222-4236. You can request a meeting at tejasfinancial.com, and you are always welcome to stop by their office located on 19th Avenue Southwest in Wilmer. And just a quick reminder before I let you go, we got a brand new episode of Retiree Purpose coming up later this week. We talk about identity. So many people find their identity in their jobs and their careers, but what happens when you retire and that goes away? That is a big chasm for a lot of retirees to cross. We talk about that on Retiree Purpose coming up this Friday at 4:30 right here on KWLM. I'm Jared Sebesta, joining you in this episode of Time, Talent, Treasure Radio. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Securities offered through Avantax Investment Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Avantax Advisory Services. Insurance services offered through an Avantax affiliated insurance agency.